In the Anvaya for sloka number 16, before we said Tam Nachiketasam Priyamana Mahatma and all that, you said something Idam. Yeah, I didn't get it. Can you please repeat?
Idam Shrutehe Vachanam. These are the words of the Upanishad. Idam Shrutehe Vachanam. And why did we say that? Because
I don't see this in the book, right?
correct. It won't be there in the book. That's why we are putting this in parenthesis.
Oh, okay.
That's why we are putting this in parenthesis. And we got that from where? From the 15th mantra, Sambandha Vashyam, if you look at. Yeah, Shankaracharya says, Idam Shruter Vachanam.
On the top.
Continuing. So just so that, just for us to remind ourselves, I put it here because if you look at mantra by itself, we may not know who is saying what and things like that.
Yeah, these are the words of Upanishad.
Correct. So that you can put in brackets and second quarter onwards, I think you put the Yamaha or Mrityuhu Vacha in brackets.
Right. Yeah. Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Anirudh.
Yeah, so Guruji, I was thinking about mala. We talked about it a lot. So it looks more. See, mala comes from the throat. So do your words, right? We are saying it makes vichitra sound. Yes, words. Different words are there in the mantra. They will make different sounds. So it looks more and more like that mala, which grants all the boons, is nothing but the mantras which are for the Agni Homa or the Agni ritual.
So there you go. You got a third interpretation of the word mala. Okay, our Anirudh has created an interpretation. Good. I think it sounds very nice.
It sounds like that's what he's saying. It's coming from his neck, so mala. It's got different words in it, so sounds, and it grants you what you want or whatever you want to ask it. So it looks like it's coming from there.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay. It is not. Shankaracharya did not say it. That's the only comment I can say. But I can't say you're wrong and all that. So
okay.
It's an interpretation. Yeah, it's an interpretation. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Good. I like that. Yeah, Satishji, go ahead.
Okay. One of the footnotes in my book, it says in Adhyaya, same Adhyaya, second Valli, third mantra, it talks about Shrinka, some mention of that. So if you see that mantra 3, so there is people who are very special only get this Shrinka and not all people. So that's what it is.
Third of 2, 3 again, it's going to be Imam Shrinka, like that it comes, right?
Yeah.
2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Sattvam Priyan Priyarupan Shakaman.
Yeah, exactly.
Avidyayan Nachiketotyasrakshihi
Naitagam
Shankam.
Yeah, it's going to come again. So I actually made a note of it, but then I decided not to tell it.
Okay.
And I said, when we come to the 2, 3, I will mention this, I said. Okay.
Go back and mention. Okay.
Yeah.
And this one, in my book, it says, in Kannada book, I said, it is Sambandha Shashti Priyamana Shishyasya. Maybe that's what I thought it is written here. Shishya and Shishyasya, there is a difference, no? Sambandha Shashti.
Yeah, that is okay. Sambandha Shashti, yeah. That's fine, yeah.
Okay.
Tava. Pleased with you.
Yeah.
Pleased with you. Yeah. Kavita, go ahead.
Wanted to ask, can we use your Anvaya, or when we translate, we have to do Anvaya ourselves?
Okay, so what is the question again?
You ask us every class to translate the mantras. So for that, we need to do Anvaya. So can we use the Anvaya, you do it for us, or we have to do it ourselves?
Yeah, I gave the Anvaya. So in a way, I've given the answer and then I'm asking you to repeat the answer. It looks like that, right? So what I'm saying that, I'm saying you don't have to do the Anvaya exactly the way I did it. And so you're welcome to write your own Anvaya. Because Arthas Purana, once you understand the meaning of the words, then you can reorganize it any way you want. And so I've given you a tip also, the one Anvaya I've given you. If that's the only Anvaya that comes to your mind, that's fine. You can just write that Anvaya. You don't have to forcibly come up with another Anvaya. Yeah.
Second question is how to read these mantras. What is the proper way? Do we need to memorize them, or how many times shall we read? Because it's very difficult to understand them. Even earlier, I thought after attending classes, it would be easier to understand them. But it looks like if we have to read them at least a couple of times. So which is the proper way to read these mantras?
Right. Good question. So there is something we do. People like us do. That is, we do what is called Upanishad Parayanam. Upanishad Parayanam means what? We will just take the Kathopanishad and then from top to bottom we will just chant. It's just like we are chanting one mantra, one after the other, keep on chanting. So Swami Paramatmanandaji's chant is there. So I'll just turn it on and then I will listen to it. And then what I'll do is I'll repeat after Swami. Okay? And keep on doing it. Tattva Bodha, same thing. Bhagavad Gita, same thing. So that is how we get used to these things. And this should sink into our blood, right? And so meanings are there, yeah. Meanings we will understand in time. But the mantras, once we start chanting it, it automatically goes into our head. Without your knowledge,
Right.
realize that within a few months, yeah, tamabravit priyamano mahatma varam tavehadya dadami bhuyaha. See, even I am able to repeat without seeing it. Okay. Tavaiva namna bhavitayam agnihi srinkanchemam aneka rupam grihana. So 2-3 times you say it, automatically comes to you.
Okay.
So yeah, so Upanishad Parayanam is a very important part of all Vedanta students. This message of your question is, this is important.
Okay.
And of course we have to learn to chant it, and it's not easy. There's no swara in this Upanishad. This Upanishad is from the Yajurveda, and if you go back to Yajurveda and look, there will be some swaras there. Swaras like Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunatu, like that, swaras are there. But when we study the Upanishad, we don't keep the swaras in mind, because the swara will just be an obstruction to understanding what they are. So the text is just written without the swaras. But if you go to Upanishad, in Yajurveda, their chanting swaras are there. But another thing about this Upanishad is that the Upanishad in Yajurveda and the Upanishad that we are studying right now, there is some Veda. Some words are not there here that are there. Some words are not there that are here. Like this, some discrepancies are there. And people give various reasons for the discrepancy, but that's just by the way. As far as chanting is concerned, we can chant without the swara, and we can learn to chant.
Yeah.
Very important it is, very important. So kind of let go some of the chants that we've been used to since children, okay, since childhood, and then graduate to something like this. Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, all these things we chant, and we go one step further. Once you study all these things, suppose you've studied 2-3 Upanishads, then you will start doing what is called Bhashya Parayanam. What is Bhashya Parayanam? Tam Nachiketasam Abravit Priyamanaha Shishya Yogyatam Pashyan Priyamanaha Pritim Anubhavan Mahatma Akshudra Buddhihi Varam Tava Chaturtam Iha. Like that it goes. So then we get into the mind of Shakracharya. Correct? You're just connecting with Shakracharya now. So this is all a graduation. I started talking at the community here, and they were celebrating this Krishna Janmashtami. And I was telling them how we change in our life. What we eat changes as we grow older, right? We are paying more attention to nutrition. Previously, it was chocolate and chips. Now, some people just, oh, they go away from that. Okay. So, like that, we have changed. What we read changes. We used to read some novels and this and that. Now we are reading something else, technical and something spiritual. So, everything keeps changing. Previously, entertainment constantly. Now, no, entertainment is not a big need. So, like this, we have changed. And so, I was challenging them like that. Even how we celebrate festivals should it not change? Is there a different way of celebrating Janmashtami? Like that, I was trying to get them to think and said, yeah, different way of celebrating means Krishna. Krishna was a playful guy, butter, this, that, and all. You enjoyed all that as children, and then we used to celebrate. Now, give those celebrations to your children and grandchildren. Your way of celebrating is to study Bhagavad Gita. Because that is his main message, Krishna. That is why he is Jagat Guru. Krishna Mande Jagat Guru. Not Jagat Guru because he stole butter. Like that, I told them. They like that idea. So
It's interesting.
because these are all new people and they're not used to these things. And then I wanted to somehow, because without just introducing Bhagavad Gita and all that, I wanted to tell them. So therefore, back to your question, chanting Upanishad should be slowly become part of our routine.
Is there any something available? So all the mantras chanted, so on. We can start recording and do it because pronunciation is different.
Definitely. Good to hear it before saying. Definitely don't want to pronounce the miss out syllables or letters and things like that. So yeah, so I'm used to listening to Swami Paramathanandaji's chanting, and I mean I can send that to you. We can listen to that.
Okay.
Do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
In Google and all, I'm sure some of you can do YouTube and Paramatmananda.
Okay.
All these others also.
Yeah, I'll check.
Yeah. But I'll send you Swami Paramatmananda's chanting. Okay. It's audio. It's not a video, and I don't think it's available online.
Namaste, Jaykumarji.
Yeah.
Why don't you send it in the group only so that we all can hear, whoever is interested?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'll do that. Yeah, Bhagya.
I'm confused by this word Brahma Jagnaha. I was looking at my notes when we talked about it in that Lokadihi Brahma Jagnaha Yogas Tadvishayaya, right? There I wrote it down as born of Brahma refers to Hiranyagarbha, right? So Brahmaja I wrote as Hiranyagarbha, and Brahma Jagna is one who knows Hiranyagarbha, Agni who's born out of Hiranyagarbha, so he knows Hiranyagarbha. That's how I wrote it down there.
Yeah, so the mistake there is I said Brahmaja there is Hiranyagarbha. I might have said it looks like.
Yeah.
Brahmaja should be Virata. Brahma itself is Hiranyagarbha.
Okay.
So you can change notes.
Okay, because even Hiranyagarbha is the Samashti Sukshma Sharira, right? So that is also born of Brahma only, right? Brahman. So isn't that Brahmaja?
Yeah, that is another definition for Brahmaja. Correct, another definition. But in this context, Brahma itself is Hiranyagarbha. Brahma is Hiranyagarbha. And Nirgunam Brahma.
That's why I was confused, because the first time we covered it, I thought I understood it very well because Hiranyagarbha is born of Brahma. And now I'm like, okay, confused again.
Now I shook your understanding somewhat.
So, okay, here Brahma is actually Brahmaji. This is Hiranyagarbha.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
What does it say for Lokadihi, Lokadim, Lokanam Adim, Pratama Shariritvat, the twin. So there also. Yeah, there also Virat Upasanam, not Hiranyagarbha Upasanam, Virat Upasanam.
Okay.
Yeah. So there Shankaracharya, Prathama Shariri, he says. So gross.
Vikumarji, so based on what you said, I just have a doubt. So when you said Brahma is a Hiranyagarbha and Virat relation is Virat is born of Brahma, then Hiranyagarbha should be born of causal Sarira, which is Ishvara. No, you don't say that way. In the Samisti, so the causal to Sukshma to gross. So
Yeah. So that also Hiranyagarbha also has a cause, and that cause can be said as. See, there is a Puranic story. What is that? Vishnu. Brahma was born of Vishnu, right? So Vishnu's Nabhi, and then lotus, and then Brahma came, and then Vishnu gave that Brahmaji. Vishnu gave the 4 Vedas, etc. There is a story. And so, yeah, Brahmaji also was born. There is a Puranic story like that. But yeah, you can say Ishvara, Bhagavan. Maya, finally Maya has to come, because Nirgunam Brahma cannot create anything. So some Saguna Brahma aspect only you have to bring. So Maya, Anadi Maya. Maya is Anadi. So, yeah. Any other question? Srankam. Should it not be Srankam? Srankam. Okay. Srankam. Oh, okay. That the Srank. Yeah, I think it changes. Srankam. You can check how the Sra becomes Sri. The Grah becomes Grinnati. Refa becomes R. So that's what is happening there. Okay, Meera Narayan.
So Guruji, continuing on Bhagyaji's question, this Brahma Jatnyaha, you had mentioned Brahma is in the previous shloka, you had mentioned Brahma is Hiranyagarbha, Samashti Sukshma Shariram, and you said Agni is born of Hiranyagarbha, so we have to take it as Virat now.
Correct.
Okay.
Virat. And that Virat is what is visualized on the Agni, on the Pratyaksha Agni. Virat is visualized.
Okay. Dhanyavada.
So this shows that our ancestors were good at all these things. For them, this was natural, and we may have lost track of all these things, and so we are beginning to have to write these things down and understand what is this Hiranyagarbha, Virat. All these are new words for us. And one of our friends here in Sanskrit class, Chaitra's husband is Viraj, right? Viraj, right? I mean, who knows Viraj? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Narayan Viraj. So Virat.
Virat is our cricket player, is there?
Huh?
Virat is our cricket player, is there? Virat.
He's also there. Yeah. Virat, Samrat.
Take Marji, another question.
Yeah.
So when we talk about Virat, we are talking about all 5 Panchabhutas manifested, right?
Correct.
Whereas in the previous verse, we were talking about Agni because it's the first visible Panchabhuta. Right? So we're talking about one component of Virat in the previous, like Lokadihi, Brahmajatyaha, Yaha, Agni. And here we're talking about fully manifested, with all 5.
The reason for that is Agni is the first visible thing. Akasha, Vayu, not visible. And Agni is visible. So immediately you can visualize Agni. And then Virat has to be visualized on Agni. And therefore, Pratama Shariritvat. So because first among the Panchabhutas, this is the first one that has a form that can be perceived, and therefore Agni is used there. And Virat also being gross. Doesn't matter if it is gross or subtle, still gross Virat, and so it can be visualized on this Agni. So that is the logic they are using there. Pratama Shariritvat. And Agni, because the karma is all based on Agni. Agni is very important. And Agni is our Devata. So we said that Agni delivers, right? And so.
Yeah, but when we are talking about Virat, we are talking about all 5 Panchabhutas,
Correct,
right now.
correct. That's why Virat is projected on Agni.
Yeah.
So Virat is not Agni. Virat need not be Agni. Anything can be projected on Agni. And Virat is being projected on Agni, which is all Pancha, Sthula. So Panchikrita, Panchabhutani, correct? Gross. Good. Bit technical again. So if we don't fully follow, it's all right. These things take a little while to fully grasp. And we're not used to all these rituals and all that. And Upasanam also. Dhyanam we do. But the detailed Upasanam, Chandogya Upanishad has a lot of Upasanams. And Taittiriya Upanishad, Omkar Upasanam, etc. are there. So in our tradition, when we are studying the Shastram, when we are studying Vedanta, we do Upasanam to the extent we need. Because our goal is not Swarga. Therefore, all these detailed Upasanams don't even mean anything to us. Yeah, so we'll let go of many of these things. Yeah, Mahesh.
Kathopanishad is part of the Krishna Yajurveda, and
Correct.
Krishna Yajurveda is in prose form, right?
Yes.
I mean, Yajurveda is in prose form.
Yeah.
So you said there is some indentation in the Yajurveda. I'm just curious.
There is Swara. Swaras are there in every
Swara.
Swara. Swara is different from Chandas.
So here, what we normally, when we chant, just like Bhagavad Gita, we follow Anushtup, Chanda, and Tushtup. Is there something we follow in this or not?
And so this is somewhat unique, even though we say Ajurveda is prose, but this does not look like prose, right? It looks like a nice chanting, nice tune is there, okay? And that nice, somehow it worked out like this, okay? That this particular, at least this portion of Kathopanishad. Everywhere it won't be like this. The chandas won't be there. And sometimes the letters are all, if you count and all that, I don't think there is a chandas here. I don't think, I've not seen it, but you can check, see. Tam abravit priya ma no mahatma. Okay, so that's 11. So this is Trishtup Chanda. 11 times 4. It works in Trishtup. Next one. Varam ta ve hadya. Varam ta ve hadya. Ra mi bhu ya. Correct. 11. I think it's going. Ta vai va nam na bha vi ta yam agnihi. 11. And then sring kam che mam a ne ka ru pam gr ha na. 12. I think so. Let's check that. Sring kam cha e. Sring kam che mam a ne ka ru pam gr ha na. 12. Therefore, it is not Trishtup Chanda. Okay. So there is no Chandas in this. Therefore, it is not this one, Padyam. It is Gadyam. No, it looks like a very poetic and all that, maybe like and all that, but it's not. It's not. So therefore, good. I'm glad you're paying attention to all these things. All right, we'll stop with that. So, yeah, we'll pause here. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantarye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanathaye Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanathaye Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.